me you're wrong. If that's your idea, you're wrong. If you want to know who we are gentlemen of Japan. On bus and job, on street and fan, on many, 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 many a drop. Oh, 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 oh. On bus and job, on street and fan.
Gentlemen, I pray you tell me where a gentle maiden dwelleth named Yum Yum, the wood of cocoa. In pity speak, oh speak, I pray you. Why, who are you who ask this question? Come, gather round me, and I'll tell you. A wandering minstrel, I, a thing of shreds and patches, of banded songs and snatches, and dreamy lullaby. My catalogue is long through every passion ranging, and to your humours changing. I tune my supple song, I tune my supple song. All you in sentimental mood, I'll sigh with you. Oh, sorrow. On maiden's coldness do you brood, I'll do so too. Oh, sorrow, sorrow. I'll tempt your willing ears with songs of lovers' fears. I'll sympathetic tears my cheeks bedew. Oh, sorrow, sorrow. But in patriotic sentiment is wanted. I patriotic powers come and try. For where'er our country's banner may be planted, all other local banners are defied. Our warriors and saving ranks assembled, never will or they conceal it if they do. And I shouldn't be surprised if nations tremble before the mighty troops of Pitti-Sing.
You shouldn't be surprised if nations tremble, tremble with the heart before the mighty troops, the troops of Pitti-Sing.
And if you call for a song of the sea, we'll heave the capstan round. With a yo-heave-ho, for the wind is free, the anchor's a trip and the helm's a lee. Hurrah for the homeward bound!
Yo-ho, heave-ho, hurrah for the homeward bound.
To lay aloft the howling trees may tickle our landsman's taste. But the happiest hour a sailor sees is when he's down at an inland town with his Nancy on his knees. Yo-ho, and his arm around her waist.
So man the capstan down we go, the fiddler swings us round. With the yo-heave-ho and the rum-me-lo, hurrah for the homeward bound. With the yo-heave-ho and the rum-me-lo. Yo-ho, heave-ho, yo-ho, heave-ho, 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 yo-ho.
patches of pallid songs and snatches and dreamy lullaby and dreamy lullaby.
What business do you have with Yum Yum?
I'll tell you. A year ago, I was a member of the Pitti-Poo town band. It was my job to take the cap round for contributions. While discharging this delicate office, I saw Yum Yum. We fell in love at once, but she was betrothed to her guardian Coco, a cheap tailor, and I saw my suit was hopeless. Overwhelmed with despair, I quitted the town. Judge of my delight when I heard that Coco had been condemned to death for flirting. I hurried back at once in the hope of finding Yum Yum at liberty to listen to my protestations.
It is true that Coco was condemned to death for flirting, but he was reprieved at the last moment and raised to the exalted rank of Lord High Executioner under the following remarkable circumstances, which I am at liberty to divulge in my song. Our great Mikado, virtuous man, when he to rule our land began, resolved to try a plan whereby young men might best be steadied. So he decreed in words succinct that all who flirted, lit or winked, unless connubially linked, should forthwith be beheaded, 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 be beheaded. And I expect you'll all agree that he was right to so decree. And I am right, you are right, all is right as right can be.
And you are right, and we are right, and all is right as right can be.
And all is right as right can be. Right, right can be. This stern decree you'll understand caused great dismay throughout the land. For young and old and shy and bold were equally affected. The youth who winked a roving eye, or breathed a non-connubial sigh, was thereupon condemned to die. He usually objected, objected, objected. He usually objected. And you'll allow, as I expect, that he was right to so object. And I am right, and you are right, and everything is quite correct.
And you are right, and we are right, and everything is quite correct.
And everything is quite correct. All is quite correct. And so we straight let out on bail a convict from the county jail, whose head was next on some pretext condemned to be mown off, and made him husband, for we said, who's next to be decapitated cannot cut off another's head until he's cut his own off, his own off, his own off, until he's cut his own off. And we are right, I think you'll say, to argue in this kind of way. And I am right, you are right, all is right, lurale.
And you are right, and we are right, and all is right, lurale.
And all is right as right can be. Right, all is right.
Coco, the cheap tailor, Lord High Executioner of Pitti-Poo. Why, that's the highest rank a citizen can attain.
It is. Our logical Mikado, seeing no moral difference between the dignified judge who condemns a criminal to die, and the industrious mechanic who carries out the sentence has rolled the two into one, and every judge is now his own executioner.
But how good of you, for I can see you are a nobleman of the highest rank.
Don't mention it. I am, in point of fact, particularly haughty, an exclusive person of pre-Vanderbilt Ashevillean descent. You may understand this when I tell you that I can trace my family ancestry back to a prehistoric primordial atomic globule. Consequently, my family pride is something inconceivable. I can't help it. I was born sneering. But I struggle hard to overcome this defect. I mortify my pride continually. When all the other great officers of the state resigned in a body because they were too proud to serve an ex-tailor, did I not unhesitatingly accept all of their posts at once?
And the salaries attached to them? You did?
It is consequently my degrading duty to serve this upstart as First Lord of the Treasury, Lord Chief Justice, Commander-in-Chief, Lord High Admiral, Archbishop of Pitti-Poo, Lord High Mayor, the Imperial Pitti-Poo tweeter, and the Mayor, both acting and elect of the Town Hall. All rolled into one. And at a salary, a Pooh-Bah paid for his services. I, a salaried minion. But I do it. It revolts me, but I do it.
And it does you credit.
Oh, but I don't stop at that. I dine with middle-class people on reasonable terms. I dance at cheap suburban parties for a moderate fee. I accept refreshment at any hands, however lowly. I favorably review new breweries for just a sip or two. I also retail state secrets at a very low figure. In fact, any further information about Yum Yum would come under a head of state secret. Another insult, and I think a light one. Young man despairs, likewise go to. Yum Yum the fair you must not woo. It will not do, I'm sorry for you, you very imperfect ablutioner. This very day from school, Yum Yum will wend away and homeward come with a beat of drum and a rum-tum-tum to wed the Lord High Executioner. And the brass will crash, and the trumpets bray, and they'll call a dash on their wedding day. She'll toll away as Oliver with the Lord High Executioner.
And the brass will crash, and the trumpets bray, and they'll call a dash on their wedding day. She'll toll away as Oliver with the Lord High Executioner.
It's a hopeless case, as you may see, and in your place away I flee. But don't blame me, I'm sorry to be of your pleasure a diminutioner. They'll vow the pact extremely soon. In a point of fact this afternoon, her honeymoon with that buffoon, let them commence, so you shall her. And the brass will crash, and the trumpets bray, and they'll call a dash on their wedding day. She'll toddle away as Oliver with the Lord High Executioner.
And the brass will crash, and the trumpets bray, and they'll call a dash on their wedding day. She'll toddle away as
Oliver with the Lord High Executioner.
have I journeyed for a month, or nearly, to find that yum, oh, my love so dearly. This day to Coco is to be united.
The fact appears to be as you've recited. But here he comes, equipped as suits his station. He'll give you any further information.
Taken from the county jail by a set of curious chances, liberated then on bail, on my own recognizances, wafted by a favoring gale, as one sometimes is in trances, to a height that few can scale, save for long and weary dances, surely never had a male, under such like circumstances, so adventurous a tale, which may rank with most romances, taken from the county jail, by a set of curious chances, surely never had a male, so adventurous a tale. I can only trust that by strict attention to duty, I shall ensure a continuance of those favors, which it shall ever be my study to deserve. Should I ever be called upon to act professionally, I should be happy to think that there will be no trouble in finding plenty of people whose loss will be a distinct gain to society at large. Someday it may happen that a victim must be found. I've got a little list of society offenders who might well be underground and who never would be missed. There's the pestilential nuisances who write for autographs, all people who have flabby hands and irritating laughs. All singers who are out of tune, no matter sharp nor flirt. All people who on shaking hands shake hands with you like that. And all third persons who on spoiling tete-a-tetes insist. They'd none of them be missed. He's got them on the list. And they'll none of them be missed.
baker and the others of his ilk, and the piano accompanist. I've got him on the list. Or the people who eat gluten-free and drink straight almond milk, or they'll none of them be missed. They'll none of them be missed. There's the Republican and Democratic leaders of the House, who now have lower ratings than a cockroach or a louse. Or the Hippocratic TV show who preaches night and day on heterosexual marriage, then it turns out that he's gay. Or the guilt-inducing man, the righteous fundamentalist. I don't think he'll be missed. I'm sure he'll not be missed. He's got him on the list. He's got him on the list. And I don't think he'll be missed. I'm sure he'll not be missed. There's the people who may email you and spam your cyberspace. The Nigerian scam artiste. I've got him on the list. Or the friends you have on Facebook who don't want to see your face. Or they'll none of them be missed. They'll none of them be missed. There's the chronically bad spellers in the emails I receive. Or the girl who has to end her every text with OMG! LOL! Or the lawyers who are looking for the next rich man to sue. So the task of filling up the blanks I'd rather leave to you. But the worst of all is a singer who's an extra lyricist. Well, I don't think he'll be missed. They'll none of them be missed. You may put them on the list. You may put them on the list. And they'll none of them be missed. They'll none of them be missed. Chop chop, last one off on the top of my list. I'm still here. Pooh-Bah! Pooh-Bah! Ah, Pooh-Bah, there you are. It seems the festivities in connection with my approaching marriage must last a week. I should like to do them handsomely, and I want to consult you as to the amount I ought to spend on them.
Certainly. In which of my capacities? As First Lord of the Treasury, Lord Chamberlain, Attorney General, Chancellor of the Exchequer, Privy Purse, or Private Secretary?
Suppose we say as private secretary.
Oh, speaking as your private secretary, I should say that as the city will have to pay for it, don't stint yourself, do it well.
Exactly, as the city will have to pay for it. That's your advice.
As private secretary, of course, you will understand that as Chancellor of the Exchequer, I am bound to see that due economy is observed.
Oh, but you said just now, don't stint yourself, do it well.
As private secretary.
And now you say that due economy must be observed.
As Chancellor of the Exchequer.
Ah, I see. Come over here where the Chancellor can't hear us. Now then, as my solicitor, how do you advise me to deal with this difficulty?
Oh, as your solicitor, I should have no hesitation in saying, chance it.
Oh, thank you, I will.
If it were not that as Lord Chief Justice, I am bound to ensure that the law isn't violated.
Oh, I see. Come over here where the Chief Justice can't hear us. Oh, pardon me, sorry. Now then, as First Lord of the Treasury...
Oh, as First Lord of the Treasury, I could propose a special vote which would cover all expenses. If it were not that as leader of the opposition, it would be my duty to resist it tooth and nail. Or as Paymaster General, I could so cook the accounts so that as Lord High Auditor, I could never discover the fraud. But then, as Archbishop it would be my duty to denounce my dishonesty and place myself into my own custody as First Commissioner of Police.
Well, that's extremely awkward.
I don't mean to say that all these distinguished gentlemen couldn't be squared, but it would be right to tell you that they wouldn't be sufficiently degraded in my own estimation unless they were insulted with a very considerable bribe.
Thank you. The matter shall have my careful consideration. Oh, but my bride and her sister's approach, and any little compliment on your part, such as an abject grovel in a characteristic Japanese attitude, would be esteemed a favor.
No money, no grovel.
All right.
maids from school are we. But as a school girl well can be, filled to the brim with girlish glee. 3 little maids from school, everything is so fun. Nobody says we care for none. Life is a joke that's just begun. 3 little maids from school. 3 little maids from all unwary, come from a lady's seminary, free from machinist to Tulare. 3 little maids from school. 3 little maids from school. 1 little maid is a bride, yum yum. 2 little maids in attendance come. 3 little maids is the total sum. 3 little maids from school. 3 little maids take 1 away. 2 little maids remain and they won't have to wait very long, they say. 3 little maids from school. 3 little maids from school. 3 little maids who all unmarried, come from a lady's seminary, free from machinist to Tulare. 3 little maids from school. 3 little maids from school.
At last, my bride that is to be.
Oh, you're not going to kiss me before all these people, are you?
Well, that was the idea.
Well, it seems odd, doesn't it?
It's rather peculiar. Oh, I expect it's all right. Must have a beginning, you know.
Well, of course I know nothing about these things, but I've no objection if it's usual.
Oh, it's quite usual, I think. Eh, Lord Chamberlain?
I have known it done.
Oh, God, that's
I beg your pardon, will you present me?
Oh, this is
One at a time, if you please.
If you please, this is the gentleman who used to play so beautifully on the...
on the Marine Parade.
Yes, I think that was the name of the instrument.
Sir, I have the misfortune to love your ward. Yum yum? Oh, I know I deserve your anger.
Anger? Not a bit, my boy. Why, I love her myself. Charming little girl, isn't she? Nice hair, pretty eyes. She even smells nice. Taking little thing all together. Oh, it's very nice to have my opinion backed by a competent authority. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Constable, take him away.
I beg your pardon, but what is this? Customer come to try on.
Oh, that is a tremendous swell.
Oh, it's a boy.
Go away, little girls. Handcuff to little girls like you. Go away there, dears.
Pooh-Bah, may I present you my 3 wards? The one in the middle is my bride-elect.
What do you want me to do with them? Mind you, I will not kiss them.
Oh, no, no. You shan't kiss them. A little bow, a head nod, a petty thing. You needn't mean it, you know.
Well, it goes against the grain. They're not young ladies, they're young persons.
Oh, come, there's a good nobleman.
Well, I shan't mean it. How do you do, little girls? How do you do? Oh, my protoplasmal ancestors.
Very good.
It's very painful for me to say, howdy do, little girls, howdy do to young persons. I'm not in the habit of saying howdy do to anyone under the rank of stockbroker.
Oh, don't laugh at him. He's trying. He's under treatment for it. They just don't understand the delicacy of your position.
We know how delicate it is, don't we?
I should think we did. How a man of your importance can do it at all is a thing I never can, never shall understand.
So please deserve much regret if we have failed in etiquette. Towards a men of rank so high, we shall know better by and by. But youth, of course, must have its fling, so pardon us, so pardon us.
And don't you girls have this spring be hard on us, if we're inclined to dance
show too much respect toward the habitats of few, but nobody does, and why should you? That you that us should have anything is hard on us, to our prerogative we cling, so pardon us, if we decline to dance and sing tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la.
Sought you night and day for 3 weeks in the belief that your guardian was beheaded. And I find that you are to be married to him this afternoon.
Alas, yes.
But you do not love him?
Alas, no.
Modified rapture, but why do you not refuse him?
What good would that do? He's my guardian, and he wouldn't let me marry you.
But I would wait until you were of age.
Well, you forget that in Japan, girls do not arrive at years of discretion until they're 50.
True, from 17 to 49 are considered years of indiscretion.
Besides, a wandering minstrel who plays a wind instrument outside tea houses is hardly a fitting husband for the ward of the Lord High Executioner.
But shall I tell her? Yes, she will not betray me. What if it should prove that, after all, I am no musician?
There, I was certain of it directly when I heard you play.
And what if it should prove that I am no other than the son of His Majesty the Mikado?
Son of the Mikado? But why is your Highness disguised? And what has your Highness done? And will you promise never to do it again?
Some years ago, I had the misfortune to captivate Katisha, an elderly maid in my father's court. She misconstrued my customary affability into expressions of affection and ordered me to claimed me in marriage under my father's law. My father, the Brutus of his race, ordered me to marry her within a week or perish ignominiously upon a scaffold. That night, I fled his court. And assuming the disguise of a second trombone, I joined the band in which you found me when I had the happiness of seeing you.
If you please, I think your Highness had better not come too near. The laws against flirting are excessively severe.
But we are quite alone, and nobody can see us.
Well, still, that doesn't make it right. Flirting is capital.
It is capital.
And we must obey the law.
Deuce take the law.
I wish it would, but it...
If it wasn't for the law, how happy we might be.
Happy indeed.
If it wasn't for the law, we might be sitting side by side. Like that.
Instead of being obliged to sit half a mile off. Like that.
We should be gazing into each other's eyes. Like that.
Breathing sighs of unutterable love. Like that.
With our arms around each other's waists. Like that.
If it wasn't for the law.
If it wasn't for the law.
Oh, well, as it is, of course, we couldn't do anything of the like.
Not for worlds.
Being engaged to Coco, you know.
Being engaged to Coco. Were you not to cooperated, I would say in tender tone, loved one, let us be united, let us be each other's own. I would match our rank and station, worldly sneers are not to us, and to mark my admiration, I would kiss you fondly thus.
He would kiss me fondly thus. But as I'm engaged to Coco, to embrace you thus for Foco would distinctly be no joco, and for that I would get Toco. Toco.
So in spite of all temptation, such a thing I'll not discuss, and on no consideration will I kiss you fondly thus. Will I kiss you fondly thus? Let me make it clear to you, this is what I'll never do. This is what I'll never do. This is what I'll never do.
You'll never do.
I'll never do.
You'll never do. This is what I'll never do.
There she goes. To think how entirely my future happiness is wrapped up in that one little parcel. Really, it hardly seems worthwhile. Oh, matrimony. Now then, sir, what is it? Can't you see you have interrupted a soliloquy? You have interrupted my apostrophe, sir.
I am the bearer of a letter from His Majesty the Mikado.
A letter from the Mikado? What in the world can he have to say to me? Wasabi, Coco? Susinchi, I say... Oh, yes. English. Very good. Ah, here it is. Oh, I thought it would come sooner or later. It says here, the Mikado is struck by the fact that no executions have taken place in Pitti-Poo for a year, and decrees that, unless someone is beheaded within the month, the post of Lord High Executioner shall be abolished, and the city reduced to the rank of a village.
But that would involve us all in irretrievable ruin.
Yes, there's no help for it. I shall have to execute somebody at once. The only question is, who shall it be?
Well, it seems unkind to say so, but since you are already under sentence of death for flirting, everything seems to point to you.
To me? What are you talking about? I can't execute myself.
Why not?
Why not? Well, in the first place, self-decapitation is an extremely difficult, not to mention dangerous thing to attempt. And in the second, it's suicide. And suicide is a capital offense.
That is so, no doubt.
We might reserve that point.
True, it could be argued 6 months hence, before the full court.
Besides, I don't see how a man can cut off his own head.
A man might try.
Even if he only succeeded in cutting it half off, that would be something.
It would be taken in earnest of your desire to comply with imperial will.
No, there I am adamant. As official headsman, my reputation is at stake. I can't consent to embark upon a professional operation unless I see my way to a successful result.
This professional conscientiousness is highly creditable to you, but it places us in a very awkward position.
My good sir, the awkwardness of your position is grace itself, compared with that of a man trying to cut off his own head.
I'm afraid that unless you can obtain a substitute...
A substitute? Oh, nothing easier. Pooh-Bah, I appoint you Lord High Substitute.
Oh, such an appointment would realize my fondest dreams. But no, at any sacrifice, I must set bounds to my insatiable ambition. I am so proud, if I allowed my family pride to be my guide, I'd volunteer to quit this sphere instead of you in a minute or two. But family pride must be denied and set aside and mortified and mortified.
My brain, it teems with endless schemes, both good and new, for Pitti-Poo, for Pitti-Poo. But if I flit, the benefit that I diffuse the town would lose. Now every man to aid his clan should plot and plan as best he can.
I heard one day a gentleman say that criminals who are caught in two can hardly feel the fate to steal and so are slain without much pain. If this is true, it's jolly for you. Your courage grew to be decided to you.
My brain, it teems with endless
family pride
but if I flit, the benefit that I quit the town would lose. Now every man to aid his clan should plot and plan as best he can. And so, although I'm ready to go, yet recollect 'twere disrespect did I neglect to thus effect this aim direct. So I object.
And so, although I'm ready to go, and recollect to greatly shine, and take the line of a hero fine with grave condign, I must decline.
Then go and show both friend and foe how much you dare. I'm quite aware it's your affair, yet I declare I take your ship, but I don't much care.
I'm not.
So I object.
Ship, but I don't. So I object. Ship, but I don't.
So I object.
Ship, but I don't.
So I object. So I object. To sit in solemn silence in a dull dark dock, in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short sharp shock from a cheap and jimmy chopper on a big black block. To sit in solemn silence in a dull dark dock, in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short sharp shock from a cheap and jimmy chopper on a big black block. A dull dark dock, a lifelong lock, a short sharp shock, a big black block. To sit in solemn silence in a pestilential prison and awaiting the sensation of a cheap and jimmy chopper on a big black block. Of a short sharp shock from a cheap jimmy chopper on a big black block. To sit in solemn silence in a dull dark dock, in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short sharp shock from a cheap jimmy chopper on a big black block. A dull dark dock, a lifelong lock, a short sharp shock, a big black block. To sit in solemn silence in a pestilential prison and awaiting the sensation of a cheap jimmy chopper on a big black block. This is simply appalling. I, who allowed myself to be respited at the last moment, simply in order to benefit my native town, am now required to die. And that by a man whom I have loaded with honors. Is this public gratitude? Is this how you... How dare you? Go away, sir. Can't you see? Am I never to be permitted to soliloquize?
Oh, go on. Don't mind me.
Well, what are you going to do with that rope?
I am about to terminate an unendurable existence.
Oh, nonsense. What for?
Because you are going to marry the girl I adore.
Oh, nonsense. As a humane man, I can't allow that. If you attempt anything of the sort, I shall order your instant arrest. Come, sir, desist at once, or I summon my guard.
That's absurd. If you attempt to raise an alarm, I instantly perform the happy dispatch with this dagger.
No. Well, this is horrible. Why? You cold-blooded scoundrel, are you aware that in taking your own life, you are committing a crime, which is substitute?
What's the matter?
Are you absolutely resolved to die?
Absolutely
Will nothing shake your resolution?
nothing.
Threats, entreaties, prayers, all useless?
All. My mind is made up.
Oh, well, if you really mean what you say, and you are absolutely resolved to die, and nothing whatever will shake your determination, then don't spoil yourself by committing suicide, but be beheaded at the hands of the public executioner.
I don't see how that would benefit me.
You don't? Observe. You'll have a month to live. And in that month, you'll live like a Vanderbilt at my expense. When the day comes, there'll be a grand ceremonial. You'll be the central figure. No one will attempt to deprive you of that distinction. No. There'll be a procession with bands, a dead march, bells tolling, all the girls in tears, Yum-Yum distracted. And when it's all over, general rejoicings. Yay! And a display of fireworks in the evening. You won't be there to see them, but they'll be there all the same.
Do you think Yum-Yum would really be distracted at my death?
Oh, certainly, bless you. She's the most tender-hearted creature alive.
Oh, I should hate to cause her any pain. Perhaps if I were to withdraw from Japan and convalesce at the Grove Park Inn for a couple of years, I might contrive to forget her.
Oh, I don't think you could forget Yum-Yum so easily. And what's more miserable than a love-blighted life?
True.
Oh, life without Yum-Yum. Why, it seems absurd.
And yet there are a good many people in the world who have to endure it.
Poor devils. You're right not to be of their number.
I won't be of their number.
A noble fellow.
I'll tell you how we'll manage it. Tomorrow, you let me marry Yum-Yum, and in a month, you may behead me.
No, I draw the line at Yum-Yum.
Oh, very well then. If you can draw the line, so can I.
Oh, stop. Be reasonable. How can I consent to you marrying Yum-Yum if I'm going to marry her myself?
Good fellow. She'll be a widow in a month, and you can marry her then.
Oh, yes, I quite see that. Oh, but my position during the next month will be most unpleasant. Most unpleasant.
Not half so unpleasant as my position at the end of it.
Oh, yes, I quite see that. I agree. But you won't prejudice her against me, will you? She's been educated to be my wife. She's been taught to regard me as a wise and good man. I shouldn't like her views on that point disturbed.
Trust me, she will never learn the truth from me.
Congratulate me, gentlemen, I found a volunteer.
The Japanese equivalent of here.
'Tis Nanki-Poo.
Hail, Nanki-Poo.
I think he'll do.
Yes, he'll do.
He yields his life if I'll Yum-Yum surrender. Now I adore that girl with passion tender, and would not yield her with a ready will, or her a lot, if I did not adore myself with passion tender still. with passion tender still.
Ah, yes, he loves himself with passion tender still.
Take her, she's yours.
The cloud has passed away.
Shines the dawning day.
What more the night may come too soon.
There's yet a month of afternoon.
And let the joy with laughing song and merry. Let the joy with laughing song and merry. With laughing song and merry. With laughing song. With joyous shout, and ringing cheer.
To cry, long life to Nanki-Poo. But as 1 month you have to live as fellow citizen, this toast with 3 times 3 will give long finished yet. Till then.
May all the fortune prosper you. May you have health, and riches. May you succeed in all your
Katisha, the maid of whom I told you.
No, you shall not go. These arms shall thus unfold. Oh, fool that fleest my hallowed joys, a blind that seest no equipoise, oh, rash that judgest from half the whole, oh, base that grudgest love's lightest door. you'll be something we pray and be dumb, dumb, dumb. We think you had better succumb, come, come. You'll find there are many who went for a penny, who went for a penny. There are lots of good fish in the sea, there are lots of good fish in the sea. There's lots of good fish in the sea. There's lots of good fish in the sea, in the sea, in the sea, in the sea, in the sea.
Joys we soar to slight your scalp, the echoes of our festivals to rise triumphant.